table, but the power don't show. Whispers in the dark, deals in the shade. Build from the fire, now the city's afraid. We don't bluff, we make the game. Every move sparks fear and fame. From the forge to the peak we grind. Mess with the best, get left behind. Yeah, the Syndicate runs this town. From the underground up we hold the crown. Stacking chips while they chase the fame. We write the rules, they just play the game. The Syndicate runs this town. Don't forget the name. You hear the clatter of chips. That's not luck. That's legacy. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. Yeah, the Syndicate runs this town. From the underground up we hold the crown. Stacking chips while they chase the fame. We write the rules, they just play the game. The Syndicate runs this town. Don't forget the name.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, live from KFRK Broadcasting Studios in Colorado. This is the Syndicate Weekend Warrior Series game number 2, already live and in action, and everybody's already talking shit. So we're going to go ahead and hop you guys into the table right away, with all of our players sitting around doing, well, a whole lot of nothing right there until the screen refreshes because, well, sometimes things go haywire and wacky and goofy. In any case, we've got everybody sitting there with a King 4-7 rainbow flop. I have to apologize. I am not the best at poker commentation, so you'll just have to bear with me as we get through this wonderful test broadcast brought to you by KFRK Entertainment. The Syndicate plays on the Poker Now free-to-play poker client platform. You can find them over at pokernow.club. That's right, pokernow.club, not .com. It's .club. You need to not get that all confused. So as we watch this last bit of action on this, I think this is the second or third hand already that we're into. Joining the game just a tad bit late as we got through the opening credits. But we got a pretty decent sized pot going on. And Casely is going to take that with trip sevens. And that board cleared out of there a lot faster than I can comment on it. And that's pretty sad. We know game one was taken over by Goddess, or Godly, as she's also known here on the table. She's already been talking her crap along with Casely. The two of them are going to be button heads probably through the rest of the game. Casely, one of the more decorated players that's at the table currently. She actually won the Sethi free roll tournament. The Sethi 3 free roll tournament, I believe, is what it was. Won herself a nice little Amazon gift card out of that, courtesy of the folks over at PokerNow.club. We don't want to forget that. .club. Because if we don't say .club, you'll go somewhere else, and then you'll be on the wrong site. Next thing you know, you're probably on somebody's Instagram page, or what do they call that? OnlyFans page. So who knows? Anyways, game is getting rolling. I'm going to introduce you to the players here real quick, as even though you can see them all on the screen, but we do need to give them all a proper introduction as we get in through the first part of this hand. Let's take a peek at who all is playing in today's game. Game number 2, we got Casely, Freakchild, who is the matriarch, I believe, of the Syndicate. We've got Marta, Godly, 4 King Ace Hole. Yes, I said that right. It was not censored. 4 King Ace Hole. And just plain old Angie, all sitting at the table there today at Game 2 of the Syndicate Weekend Warrior Series. We are headed into the next part of this hand pre-flop. Everybody's just kind of easing their way into this. We've got a 10 Jack of Spades with a Ace of Diamonds on the flop. Freakchild's move. What's he going to do here? He's going to call Godly's bet of 50. Godly has bet nothing. She is checked. Freakchild. Slow on the check there. Godly's action now, with a 3 finishing out that miserable looking end of a board. 9 of diamonds, 3 of hearts. She's still sitting there wondering what she's going to do. Running down the clock, probably trying to play some sort of mind game. Bets 150. For those of you that also play the big blind, or you watch these games based off of the blind, we'll do that for you in a little while. It's a little easier for some of you to follow. They're into the poker streaming gaming. We've just got it on the chips right now because it's all based off of one single chip and one single chair usually. So it is the Freakchild's move. He is folding, moving over to 4 King Ace Hole. He folds. Marta betting out 150. Godly folds. Casely's making the call. 3, 6, King, 2 hearts, and a spade. We're moving in. Now another spade. The 7 of spades comes up on the turn. We got $150. We'll just call it. Chips, whatever you want to call it. And a queen finishes out. Casely winning the hand with a, what is that? Just a pair of kings. Lowly kings. Interesting hand there. That's for sure. Action's over on Godly. Throwing out 110. Casely's move. Pre-flop right here on the Syndicate Warrior Series. Game number 2. Freakchild's move. Looks like he goes ahead and calls that one. Freakchild's move after the flop comes down. Sends it over to Godly, who also checks. Looks like the Freakchild is checking. Godly checks it back. Let's see what the Freakchild does here. He also checks yet again all the way through the river. Godly with the action on her. Or him. Who knows. Bets 100 chips. And Freakchild is out. He folds. And so there you go. Looking pretty good out there so far. A little bit of action. Nothing getting too wild and crazy as you normally would find on free poker sites, but they're kind of keeping it cordial. This is a very interesting group of players that you'll find on these Syndicate games that we will be broadcasting. They are actually a lot of the top sit-and-go players at PokerNow.club. A lot of them hailing from different parts of the world, not just the country or anything like that. So you never know where they might be coming from. They could be coming from Saskatchewan, Canada. They could be coming from Portugal. They could be coming from Korea. Uh, you never know. We only know a few of their hometowns, and actually, we're going to introduce you to a couple of them here real quick in what we call the player profile screens as we get into this next hand with this action. A couple of nines on the board. Action at 4 King Ace hole. He checks it over to Marta. Marta checks it down. These hands are just not very exciting today. So with those hands not being totally exciting, let's take a look at one of our players. I don't know if her profile's been completely filled out, but we got Angie, whose favorite game variant is all of them. She has 0 hometown. She has no H, but she is most annoyed by Freak Child. Shows her Warrior Series rank is 8th. I'm not sure that is correct. We're going to have to check with our graphics department because I don't think that is correct. Apparently there was no sit and go season 5 season rank. That just finished up over at Poker Now. The seasons run for 1 month. Every month is one season. So that just finished up. We don't know where she finished apparently. So we'll check back with that and see if we can get an updated rank on that for you guys when we get back into some more interesting action. Here we are into another hand. We got Casely on the small blind. Freakchild's on the big blind. We only got one other player in this hand. Freakchild has checked it down. Casely checks it with a couple of hearts on the board. Ace high sitting on the spades. Freakchild has checked it over to Marta. Marta's in the action. She's bet out 75. And that looks like that is going to be just enough to get everybody out of there with that little squeeze of a bet. Everybody playing it real tight and conservative at the moment. So we'll kind of carry that through and see how everybody goes as we continue on through yet another hand here. The Freakchild is folded. 4 King Ace hole against Casely. Queen 6-3 on the board. A deuce follows on the turn. Semi-rainbow sitting there. They both check it down. A 4 of hearts. Nothing very high out there again. We got a straight sitting out there possibly. And there it was. 4 King Ace hole did have that 5. That was a nice hand. Casely in the action. She's calling out that big blind. Well, the Freakchild's out. 4 King Ace hole's out. Everybody playing it real tight. Not a lot of action going on so far. They're in the second round of the blinds at 5,100. Pretty nice little board being painted out there with 3 spades. Casely bets it out. Shows out an ace 10 to 3-5 of Marta. Godley had a 6. Whole lot of stuff going on out there for you guys. These guys are playing so fast, I can't really keep up with what these guys are doing and being able to kind of comment on everything. Like I said, I apologize off the bat right away. I am not much of a poker commentator. We do more news than we do sports, is my forte. So you'll just have to bear with me. We may just let you watch for a while. Maybe play a few poker songs. Apparently that runs through. There's an official Syndicate poker song album that this group has compiled. So we'll have to see if maybe we can dial in some of those songs here. Give you a little background music and give you a break from my absolutely awful, horrible voice. Only 5 players showing up. The Syndicate has grown to 20 players. There is a big group of them. Only got 5 players playing in the second game of the Syndicate, Game 2 Warrior Series. They also have another game series going on right now. I believe they're calling that the Summer Series. They're about ready to wrap that one up. That one's going to be, I think, wrapping up at the end of June. This Warrior Series should be wrapping up, I think, probably mid-July, end of July. I know it runs for 8 weeks, and they're playing 2 games every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday. So you'll just have to kind of check back with us here at KFRK Entertainment and see when the next broadcast is. This broadcast may be so horrible we'll get thrown off the air and our account banned. You never know what could possibly happen. So, all right, let's get back into the action here. Sorry to be so boring. Trying not to be. And I don't have as pretty a face as Casey Lynn Mills does with Poker Now. She does usually the poker commentaries for Poker Now, so that's why I don't get on camera. I just have a face for radio. But I don't know how to entertain you guys. I'm not very good at commenting on what's going on either. I think kind of missing out on some of the action here. So let's see, where are we? We're looking at the Free Child's action here. I'm not sure what's happening. Marta bet Free Child out of that hand. So I'm not sure exactly what all we got going on there. Usually we can fill in 2 tables with some of these big groups, but they're only playing a small group today. So this game may go real quick. You guys may not have much to worry about or much to watch. You never know. We're trying to dial up some of the other graphics while the game's going on here for you, too. Where is that? Oh, and that's the other thing that we have to do, too. I forgot that we have to do an obligatory kind of thing to let you guys know that are watching out there about Poker Now, which is the home base for the Syndicate, where they play all their club games and everything. Poker Now does these free roll tournaments in which they give away a bunch of prizes, and they have a lot of kind of celebrity influencer types and all that. They actually have a game coming up tomorrow night, a free roll game. Anybody can play. No money is required. No, absolutely no deposits. Everything's 100% free. And actually, they are sponsored by AEW, which is American Entertainment Wrestling, I believe. Anyway, one of their wrestlers is going to be participating in the pre-roll game and be joining alongside on their stream on Poker Now. We'll give you a little bit more information on that here in just a second, so that you guys can kind of find out more about what goes on over there and give you more of a physical address viewing kind of thing. And all that kind of jazz. I don't know what else to call it other than jazz. So let's get back into the action here and see if we can comment on these guys, and they'll slow down for me a little bit. Who knows? We got a couple of 10s sitting on the board, and it is the Freak Child's action after Casely checks it. The Freak Child checks it. Now we got an ace on the board. So we got 2 clubs, a heart and a diamond. Could be seeing something going on with clubs, who knows? Or we might see trips hanging out there, somebody trapping one or the other. Marta bets 150, gets Casely out of there. Freak Child's sitting there wondering what he's doing. Apparently he calls. Freak Child's action still sitting there back at him. And Marta calls. She did have the ace. Beats out his King 7. I'm not sure if he was going for high card on that or what. He could have, who knows what the hell he was doing. I don't know what these people, I'm not a mind reader, people. I'm just a wannabe poker commentator. I'm a producer. That's what I am. I'm a producer, not a commentator. So we'll just let you guys watch for a minute and hang tight. Enjoy Syndicate game number 2 of the Weekend Warrior Series right here on KFRK Entertainment. See if we can dial up a little music for you. All right, now that we're kind of got some graphic issues figured out here, gang. Sorry to leave you all in the complete and utter silence, but hopefully you've been enjoying watching the game. We'll go back to one of those slides we showed you here just a minute ago that had to do with the Poker Now free roll tournament that'll be live tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. It's 9 p.m., by the way. That Poker Now will be hosting one of those things that we were just previously telling you about, the AEW Deep Stack Free Roll Tournament. One of those just kind of celebrity guest players, I guess you could call it, from one of the sponsors over at Poker Now. Once again, Poker Now is the home base for the Syndicate at pokernow.club, free to play. And absolutely no deposits, no money, no purchase necessary, all that good stuff. Free games, free rolls, ring games, clubs just like the Syndicate are all out there. You just got to do a little diligent work to find them. One of these other broadcasts will bring up that they are on the Discord. If you are on Discord, you can always just go ahead and check out, go to your Discord and check out the Syndicate or Poker Now, and I'm sure you'll find somebody out there that knows where the hell you're going, or you might actually find the server. You never know. But we'll see what happens. What the hell just happened? I'm too busy talking, and I just noticed we lost a player. Godly, the reigning champ from yesterday, was just knocked out. I'm not exactly sure by who. We don't have the replay cameras set up on any of this yet right now. I think I happened to glance at a pair of jacks, I think is what I saw there that must have gotten beat out there. So guess we'll be losing one player. That'll be a player that's earning the least amount of points in today's game. There is a whole player leaderboard, and more information that will be shared with all of our broadcasting family out here on KFRK Entertainment streams at a later date. Once again, this is just a test broadcast, so I always set up that little disclaimer right at the beginning. Just a little test broadcast. Eventually, we'll get somebody who can actually commentate better on poker than I. I'll just sit back and produce for you and make everything look pretty. Where are we at? Let's just not miss some action for a little while, even though whoever's out there watching, you've already seen what action is out there. We got a 10-9-6 on the board, 2 hearts. The action is over on the Freak Child. Freak Child has checked it right behind Casely. 4 King Ace hole, checks it out. Now we got an ace on the board. Things are getting dangerous. Casely checks it. Freak Child checks it. 4 King Ace. He's checking it down. Man, there's a lot on that board that could be happening. Definitely not going to be a flush out there, that's for sure. We'll see what's going to happen here. Freakchild throws out a $200 bet and makes both players fold, and we will not see what he had. We can only assume. We're off to another hand. Casely sitting in the big blind, or the small blind. Freakchild in the big blind. Everybody's just limping around apparently. Freakchild checks it out. King Deuce 9, 2 hearts on the board. Casely pops up 200. Freakchild folds it down. Marta, next in action, brings it up to 400. Casely calls it out. Casely's action with the Queen of Hearts on the board. Oh, we got a definite flush draw sitting out there by all means. And Marta will take it down with that 4 of hearts. Casely only with an 8 deuce, I believe, is what I saw. One day I'll have glasses and I can see what now I'm looking at. Freakchild's action, he calls it. We're going to see that flop come down 7 ace of diamonds with a 6 of clubs. Freakchild's action, he's going to check it over to the 4 King Ace hole. Everybody checks it around, limping around. Slow game. Got a jack of diamonds on the board. Everybody's checking that around. Now a 10. Definitely got a straight sitting out there, possibly. 4 King Ace hole with a 600. Bet. Casely hanging on to it. What's she going to do with that? Apparently she's going to type to everybody and talk shit. I can't see what she's writing. I have no idea. You guys can probably see better than I can on this little producer screen that I've got running. Looks like Freechild folded it out. As we get into the next hand, let's just take a peek at that leaderboard that we kind of poked up for you there a little bit ago. Usually it'd be the top 10 that are playing, but we only got a handful of players playing in this game here this afternoon. We have Casely sitting in first place as the chip leader. Forking Ace Hole sitting second. Freakchild sitting third. Marta bringing up the rear currently. And no, this can't be right because it's showing Godly still in the game. So we got to check out what's going on that graphic line as well. Something is goofed up there. Gotta love the age of technology and test broadcasting, huh? It all looked pretty. It just wasn't correct. So we'll see what happens there. Just get back into the action. Freakchild's action. He checks it down as we see the flop come down. Jack 7-7, total rainbow out there. It is Freakchild's action. He's checking it over to the forking ace hole. Marta, her action. After forking ace hole bet 1400. Marta is thinking about it. And for those of you that are not quite familiar with the way that actual full-on chips in poker work, let's just switch this over to what big blind structure looks like for those of you that don't even know what big blind structure looks like. This is what it looks like for a lot of online players, is that they bet their chips based off of blinds, big blinds, how many blinds they have left, basically how many hands do they have left that they're forced to play, which is a little bit skewed because that's the big blind. You always get a small blind that follows these big blinds in the game of Texas Hold'em poker. Texas Hold'em, dealer button is the dealer of the cards, and then following to the left of that comes a small blind, and then to the left of the small blind, these are forced bets as a big blind that are set limits, which you can find up there in the upper right-hand corner. Currently, our level is 200, 400, so the small blind would be a 200 chip forced bet before the cards are dealt, and the big blind would be a 400 chip forced blind before anything's dealt. And then the action would continue beyond those people, right beyond that. So trying to do 1,000 things at once, I can explain it even further for you, but we have to monitor about 800 screens while I'm trying to also explain the game of poker to you. So if you don't know the game of poker, come back to another one when we have somebody who's a lot better at just being able to commentate for you. It's my new word today. Have somebody commentate for you. Freakchild's action. We got a fairly busy board. Oh, Freakchild takes it down with an ace-jack. Just a high card on that. Ace high. Not very exciting. But then again, poker itself really isn't all that exciting. A lot of poker you see on the internet and on YouTube and all that, you got to remember, it's all edited. They show you all the highlights and the fancy schmancy graphics like we do, but then they have player interviews and all that. They don't show that to you live generally. Poker live generally is pretty damn boring, to be honest. So it takes a commentator to keep it entertaining and exciting for you. So what do we got out there? We got some hearts out there on that board. We got a couple of queen. Man, this is a busy board sitting out there. It is the Freakchild's action. There was a Casely bet from 800. Freakchild called it. Oh, Freakchild had the straight. Freakchild had the straight. He was just holding on to that, being a sneaky little fucker, apparently. I don't think that's going to make any of this team happy out there today. At all. Freakchild folds it off to Marta. Casely talking more shit to somebody. As we see a 7-queen-5, 2 clubs on the board. Casely's not going to call Marta's bet, and we're going to head off to another hand. Casely in the small blind, Freakchild in the big blind at a 2-4, 200-400 chip blind. Freakchild's action after Casely checks. Freakchild checks it down. Everybody checks it down. We've got a lot of action going on out there on that board. What's going to happen here? We got 3 spades. We got a straight sitting out there. Who's going to make that first move? Oh, it was Casely made that first move. We're falling a little behind on the action here. Now there's a ton of spades out on that board. Casely's got that flush. She thinks she does. She's betting 1,200. Freechild's sitting on it. He folds it. Casely takes it down. Forking Ace-hole did have a couple of spades sitting in there. Would it have been enough? We'll never know. I don't think. I didn't see any showing there. Freechild in the small blind folds. Big blind checks. Forking Ace-hole's action, he checks. Marta's moving it. She's moving it way up. Casely's out and gets everybody out of there with an 8. Queen, king, 2 hearts on the board. All right, Casely's going down, and it looks like Freechild's gone down, and now we've got the Forking Ace-hole raising it up, going all in on an Ace-10 against the 9-10. Ace-10, heavily favored. And is it going to hold? It holds. Ace-10 taking out that 10-9, 9-10, 9-10, 11-12. Whatever you want to say. Give you guys a break from my voice for a second and let you guys read up on this little late. Well, I'm going to have to explain it to you anyway. One of the players that has not shown up but is a very active member of the Syndicate Poker Club, B-Strat. She finished the Poker Now Season 5 sit and go rank. She's been number 1 2 series in a row, 2 seasons in a row. So she is definitely a heavy dominator over at Poker Now with the sit and go games, hitting the number 1 slot 2 seasons in a row. She is annoyed most by men. Her favorite game Hold'em. Her favorite game variant is Texas Hold'em. Has no hometown, no age. May not exist, but her summer series rank, which was the screw up in the thing, is she's sitting in 3rd place in the summer series, the Syndicate Summer Series. So they'll be playing again tomorrow. They are going to be starting Game 5 of that tomorrow, so that should be quite interesting as we get back into the action here. At Table 1, the only table there is, the final table of the Syndicate Warrior Series, the Weekend Warrior Series. 16 games total. Spans for 8 weeks. This is week 1. This is game 2. So they played yesterday. Godly won that one, who was the first one out on this game. Got knocked out by Casely. However, now the very little known fact is that Casely did not play in yesterday's game. That may have tilted the odds in Godly's favor yesterday. Casely being one of the stronger players, winning 2 of the Summer Series games back-to-back even. So might be something to be watching for as they get into the further ends of that Summer Series. Who's going to take home the coveted Summer Series bracelet? We shall find out. We'll be broadcasting that final game. Apparently, they're going to be qualifying a certain amount of players for that tournament, and only a certain amount will be playing for that final table. One final game will determine who wins that entire thing. So we'll just have to see how that all goes and what the future beholds, all of you. It is the Freechild's action as we get back into the game here. He is just going to fold it. He may have timed out on that one. I'm not quite sure. Got an all-in. Forking Ace-hole trying once again with a king-queen against an ace-6. And he does not make it. And just prior to that, he was sitting just hanging on for dear life on that leaderboard. But that will finish him in 4th place, leaving Marta, Casely, and Freechild now bringing up the rear as we head into yet another hand. And things are getting pretty narrowed down pretty quick, it looks like, on this very quick game of the Syndicate Warrior Series. So And we're moving on. Okay, the freak child is sitting there waiting. Marta goes, we're waiting on the freak child. We're waiting for somebody to do something. Somebody do something. Casely's in the small blind. She is going to just call that in. What is freak child doing? He has just let it slide in, limping it around with 2 8s and a deuce on the board. Casely rocking out 600. Freak child has folded it down. And off to the next. Freak child in the small blind. Marta on the big blind. These blinds are probably going to start knocking freak child around pretty good if he doesn't get his ass moving. I can tell you that much. He's folding out, leaving Marta. She's going to pop it up to 1,800. 8-7 jack on the board, 2 diamonds. Casely's move. She's betting it out. Marta calling. Casely is all in with 2 pair, holding on for dear life against those pocket kings, and she makes it to the end with 2 pair, 8s and 7s. Pocket kings going down, as we see regularly. Pocket kings, pocket aces going down regularly in the online games series circuit, whatever you want to call it. Definitely a lot to be said there. Speaking of players out there, let's take a quick look at Casely's stats here. We do not have a Season 5 sit and go rank on the Poker Now sit and go Season 5 finishing rank. She's annoyed most by bad beats, somewhere in her 40s. Favorite game is Hold'em. She does rank, as we were saying, the Summer Series rank is she's sitting in first currently. We don't have that point structure in a graphic for me to read out for you, but that is where she is sitting. But it is pronounced Casely, even though it does look very, very confusing, that's for sure. So there you go. That's a little snapshot into the world of Casely, one of the top players right here on the Syndicate Poker Club's Poker Club something, rather, whatever you want to call it. Casely checks it down as we get into the river card of this. What's the freak child going to do? He's just going to limp it around. He had a pair of kings. That ace may have scared him. Who knows? That was definitely an interesting, just limp that one around. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I think he's just holding on for dear life at this point. I think he's just looking for that number 2. He could be just trying to point out. Marta's raised it up on him. She's gone 3 up. You had to think about that one for a minute and folds it down. We are now sitting in, well, freak child still sitting there. Going over to Marta. We got a Queen 10-7, another rainbow on the board. Casely takes the bet. Marta calls it. Couple of spades out there. Casely still going heavy. And a jack to finish it out. Here we go with another straight draw possibility, or straight out there, whatever you want to call it. It's out there. And there goes Marta all in. Casely thinking, wondering, as we all are, what she's going to do. She folds it. 8-9. She had the straight. The lower end of it. Casely sitting in the small blind. Hanging out. Talking shit again. Freak child's action. He has checked it. Jack, Jack, King on the board. See if he actually is going to do something this time. Oh, he does. He goes all in. Bets Casely out. She does not take the bait. He does not show his cards. The man of mystery. Freak child's action. We get into this big old bunch of spades on the board. 2 4s sitting there. Freak child checks it. Everybody's checking it. Marta checks it down. Freak child takes it with a jack. Pair of 4s with the jack being the high card there. Casely shows a King 4. Would have smashed everybody on that. Freak child's action. And nobody took anything on that. Casely sitting in the small blind, Freakchild in the big blind. Marta's action. She goes 3 up. Bets out Casely. Bets out the Freakchild. Whatever it was she had. Must have been good. The standard 3-bet pre-flop. Always a signifier of a high pocket pair generally. Well, actually, any pocket pair, really, if you think about it. 387 on the board. Total rainbow yet again. Freakchild's action. He's checking it. Marta checks it down. Check around all the way out. 10 of clubs comes on the board. Freakchild's action. He checks it. Marta checks it. Everybody's checking it down. Now we got 3 clubs sitting out there. Could have a straight. Freakchild wins with a king. Not much. King high, pretty much. Interesting. Very interesting. Where is that graphic? We need to show that before, because this game could be over before we even know it. We need to get into that graphic. Where is it? Can you bring that up? No, not that one. And not that one either. That's not the proper graphic. Whatever the hell we're bringing up. Well, we can bring that one up. That's the home base of the Syndicate right there. It is Poker Now, pokernow.club. You can get into private poker tournaments, multi-table tournaments, private games, all for free. There is a plus membership you can get into on that as well, which is those little red dots, actually, you see on a couple of the players there with Casely and Freakchild. They are plus members. That's the little red insignia they have. They get little added bonuses with their little memberships, special tournaments and things like that. So, but you can pay $10 a month to get all the added stuff, build up clubs just like the Syndicate, as well as I think you can put in the custom felts and things like that. Stuff to check out. It's at www.pokernow.club. Pokernow.club. And join good old Casey Lynn Mills tomorrow over there at Poker Now. There you go. See, I told them they could get this right if they would try and hit the right graphics button. The AEW Deep Stack Free Roll, $500 free roll tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, over at pokernow.club. I'm not sure who their guest wrestler person is. You guys can probably make that out. My screen is extremely small. But you guys can check out pokernow.club. You guys can still register for that. It's open registration, I believe, up until game time. So get your butts in there and check that out. $500 free roll, free to play, free to win, free to everything. Free to watch. I believe they will be live streaming this over on their YouTube channel, the Poker Now YouTube channel. And what did we just miss? Whoa, let's go back to the table. What did we just miss? Apparently, Freakchild just took down, with rockets, took down a heavy-duty pot from Marta. Because he is really right back in the game. We just got word of this. We just got back into this, and now, look, see, this is why we have to be careful of what we show you on the screen from time to time. But where are we at? We're at 4 Queen of Hearts, 7 of Clubs. It is the Freakchild's action. We're still waiting on him to do something. 8 of Spades comes up on that turn. Freakchild checks it over to Marta. Marta has betting out the Freakchild, and he is taken out of there once again. Freakchild's action sitting under the gun, as they call it, which is the first position after the big blind. Which in this game, as it is, sitting only with 3 seats left. You can only sit under the gun or in a blind right now. Casely sitting in the small blind, goes 3 up. Freakchild's action. He's, gone big raise against Casely. What is she going to do here? And for those of you following along with chip stacks numbers better, that gives you well, I guess we missed that. We didn't get over there to change that graphic up fast enough, but that was a nice hefty bet on the Freakchild's part. Casely betting out 3,000. Freakchild folds. Marta's out of there. They don't want any piece of that ace-queen. Freakchild's action. Blinds are getting up there pretty quick. 500, 1,000. The game could start getting over real quick just by cards being dealt. That's the crazy part of poker. The longer the game goes on, the more you have to bet that you're forced into with the blind structures. Freakchild's action, he checks. Wow, we got a lot of black out there on the board. 3 clubs, 2 spades. Casely checks. Freakchild checks. And he'll take it with a king high again. Well, a pair of jacks, but it's just his king high that takes it. Nothing spectacular. Casely's move, she's got 1,000 calling on that bet. We'll see what the Freakchild does here. He's raised it up to 3,000. Casely folds out. He does not show his card. He's a very secretive little shit. Freakchild folds out. Marta takes down a couple of blinds there. She's starting to get into a little bit of warning land there. She's about at the point that she'll be starting to have to make some moves because she is sitting what I think that would be considered 4 hands. 4 big blinds is where she's sitting right now. For those of you that do it by the big blind structure, you online players out there. You'll say, oh, but I only know it by big blinds. I don't know what these chips are. Well, I'm sorry. We only know what chips are. We'll learn. We'll get a good commentator out here for you. It's only a test broadcast for you all tonight. Hang tight. Freakchild folds. Casely takes down a pot with, I couldn't see that. Was that a 6 or an 8? Who knows? Freakchild's action against Marta. Looks like he's going to bet her pretty hard. Put her almost all in. Oh, she's going to go all in. Shove it all the way in. He's going to call her. Pocket 9s against pocket 10s. It's going to be a race as this comes. And a 9 hits on that flop. She's going to need a 10. She's going to need a heart. And she does not catch either one. Unfortunately. Freakchild does take it with the trip 9s. Casely had a 9 deuce. She would have been in trouble as well. She probably, if she would have stayed in there, she probably would have played that 2 pair pretty hard. So now we're heads up. Casely and the Freakchild. 4 hearts on that board. Freakchild betting out 1,000. And he will take that down. As you can see, when we get into heads up, everybody's forced into some sort of blind. It gets pretty tight when you're into the heads up games. So you're going to be seeing probably a lot of quick action, a lot of fast action. This game could be over very quickly. We'll see what happens. Got a lot of red on the board. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 9 deuce, 7, 8. Freakchild checks it over to Casely, who checks it. Freakchild checks it. Casely goes for a check down, or is she going to bet it? She bets it. See what the Freakchild does. He might have a heart. He's hanging. Apparently not. He didn't have enough. Casely on the big blind. It is Freakchild's action. He's going to go $3,000. Casely's out. He takes down a little bit of cards there. Casely's going. She's limping in for the big blind. Freakchild. His action. Not a lot on that board. But we're at that point of the game where that actually could be a lot. Even that jack that just came up could be a lot. Checked it down. Casely will take it with the king 8. Just a pair of deuces with a king high. Whoa, Freakchild has just gone all in. He's going for the challenge against the number 1 leader right now, and he will take that down. Oh, he shows his cards for a change, a king, queen. Apparently he wants to show he is not screwing around. Now he has pocket aces. Nice. Real nice, dude. Didn't even get a chance to play it. Poor guy. Casely's action. She's going up. Freakchild just calls. Casely's action. 593 on Bob. I do speak English, even though I don't seem to be able to be very good at it. We got 4 clubs sitting on the turn. Casely's action. She's going big with $3,000. Freakchild calls it. And a jack comes down on that river. Freakchild's betting it. She calls. He takes it down with surprisingly. That's not what I expected. I expected to see a jack. With as slow as he went on that, I expected to see a jack. Not the 9 that came on the flop. Wow, that was crazy. Casely's going with an all-in move. Freakchild hanging on. He's thinking about it. I can tell. Oh, no, he's not taking the bait. Casely takes that one. Casely in the big blind. Freakchild now under the gun, technically. 4 deuce 5, rainbow flop again. Freakchild checks it. Casely checks it. No action going on here. The two of them checking it all the way down to the river. Freakchild bets 1,000. It was enough for Casely to bow out. Casely on the action, under the gun, small blind. She's going all in. Freakchild gives it the fold. Heading on down the road. We'd cut over to another graphic, but I don't think we have time to miss any of this action that's going on out here. Being our heads up portion of the game. A 7 deuce, Casely shows. Casely is going all in again. Going for the punt. Is she going with the cards? What is she going with? Guess we'll never know. Freakchild folds. Freakchild's action. Let's see what he does. Taking his time. He's betting her up. And she folds it out. They're keeping their cards secret from each other. Unfortunately, we don't have hole cams, so we'll never know what these guys held. Freakchild folds it out. Casely's hanging on. Under the gun. We're on the auction. Just limps it in. We're going to see a flop. 7, 8, 6. 2 clubs on the board. Freakchild's action. He checks it. Casely checks it. Looking like a big-time straight on the board. Somebody's got to have that 10, I'll bet. They both check it down. King comes. Now we got 3 clubs sitting on that board. Could be a possible flush draw sitting out there. Freakchild bets it out. 2,000. Going a little tiny there. Ooh. And Casely's going with an all-in 5,500. Freakchild sitting on this one. Looks like he might have the flush. Or might think that she doesn't have the flush. He calls it. He gets the straight. He gets the win. Freakchild has won the tournament. The game number 2 of the Syndicate Weekend Warrior Series is over. Freakchild coming in first. Casely coming in second. Marta coming in third. As you can see on the little graphic there showing on the thing. That's your top 3. First, second, third. Freakchild, Casely, then Marta on this very short Syndicate game on this Sunday afternoon. Brought to you by KFRK Entertainment that you can find right here on YouTube. So there you are, gang. Join us next time on our next broadcast. If you feel so inclined, you can do that. On the end note of this one more time, we just want to remind you, Poker Now, the home playing site for the Syndicate Poker Series, pokernow.club. Having a free roll tomorrow, the AEW free roll, American Entertainment Wrestling, I believe is what that stands for. That's one of their wrestlers. That's hosted by Casey Lynn Mills, a World Series of Poker player who's one of the house pros of pokernow.club. She'll be having guest player something Ford. Betty, not Betty Ford. Ma'am, was that an insult? Is that an insult? I don't know. Uh, in any case, you'll be able to watch that possibly on Poker Now's uh, streaming page, wherever that is. But you need to get over to pokernow.club to find out more about what you can do there for free whenever you want, however you want, as long as it has to do with poker. With that, I am your mysterious voice in the shadows, signing off after this somewhat exciting game of the Syndicate's Warrior Series, the Weekend Warrior Series, running from May 31st through July 26th. And that's a little picture of the bracelet that these guys will win. We hope you guys have a wonderful and fantastic rest of your Sunday. We'll see you on the next broadcast.